Hello and welcome to your Macon-Bibb Beat. It's your one-stop shop for all your Macon-Bibb County news. I'm Frank Malloy, and each week we take you through what's happening in your neighborhood, from North Macon to South Bibb and everywhere in between. We begin with Macon-Bibb County leaders potentially cracking down even more on vape shops. Planning and zoning commissioners are scheduled to vote on a resolution that would affect future stores that try and open up. There is already a moratorium in place in Macon, joining areas like Dublin that also limits vape shops. Houston County also restricting liquor stores in some cities. This new Bibb County resolution would focus on how close future businesses can be to one another and how far they would need to be away from children. Olivia Dunn breaks down the potential changes and how one Macon vape shop is reacting.
Jeff Ruggieri with Macon-Bibb Planning and Zoning says this resolution has been in the works since September. And one employee I talked to here at Macon Vapor 3 says restrictions on new stores could help him and his customers in the long run.
When we first started up, it wasn't that many, especially in this area. It wasn't that many, it wasn't that popular. Now it's more and more stores are popping up.
Lou Elahabi's family has owned the store in West Bibb for about 5 years. He says they welcome competitors, but says not all of them have sold quality products, which he says reflects poorly on other shops, including his.
So when you go to gas stations like that and you buy stuff like that are cheaper, but are just lower quality, it brings down the whole community of just vape stores in general.
That's why Elahabi and his family say they welcome new restrictions, like the ones proposed by Macon-Bibb Planning and Zoning.
I feel like it should be a little harder for them to pop up, maybe not to have as many.
The resolution has several parts, including what defines a vape shop. They'll look at what products are sold, what percentage of their inventory are vape products, and how much money they make from those products. But mainly, it would lay new rules for where these stores can go. Future vape shops would have to stay 1,800 feet from other vape shops and 1,800 feet from any school or childcare facilities.
Just limiting the overall number, again, so we don't become, the epicenter for vape shops.
Ruggieri says inspectors have tallied 38 vape shops in Macon that fall under the restrictions, but only new shops will be regulated. He says these restrictions make up a growing push to protect vulnerable populations, like children, across central Georgia.
If you don't have any kind of regulation, you're naturally going to be kind of the epicenter for those types of businesses, and we may get flooded.
Planning and zoning leaders plan to vote in this resolution on January 12th. Reporting in Macon, Olivia Dunn, 13 WMAZ News.
Jeff Ruggieri says CBD products are not regulated under the resolution. A new change in Bibb County starting in the new year will impact tourism. Starting January 1st, Macon-Bibb will introduce a new $3 per night occupation tax on hotels, Airbnbs, verbos, and campgrounds. Macon-Bibb Mayor Lester Miller says he expects the tax to generate millions of dollars every year, $2.5 million in revenue and $40 million in debt support for major projects like the future arena and convention center. Mayor Miller says the idea is to tax tourists coming into the area rather than the people who live here. A major retail addition could be just the start of more big brands coming to Macon-Bibb County. The mayor says one project is already sparking interest from other national names. Lester Miller, the mayor, says a new Costco could open the door to even more development in Macon-Bibb. The mayor confirms he has held talks with Trader Joe's as well as entertainment destinations like Topgolf and Dave & Buster's. The mayor says he expects to see new restaurants and concepts new to Macon arrive over the next few years.
There's many things coming to Macon. It's no secret I've been talking to Trader Joe's for a while. We're excited about the possibility of Trader Joe's coming to Macon. We've got a Beef O'Brady's, one or two of them that's coming to town, something that's new to Macon. The people on Hartley Bridge Road is going to be very excited about that.
Now, right now, that Costco project is expected to break ground in the new year and then open sometime in the summer of 2027. In the meantime, county leaders are working on nearby road widening and traffic fixes to ease congestion near where that Costco will be built. A Macon Counseling Center getting a big boost for 2026 thanks to new funding from Bibb County leaders. $50,000 will help the Family Counseling Center of Central Georgia provide free or low-cost mental health care for crime victims. One gun violence survivor shares how that support helped him rebuild his life. Olivia Dunn sat down with Roland Brown to hear his story.
When Roland Brown was shot in the head in 2021, doctors needed to remove part of his skull to help save his life. Against the odds, he walked away. Now 53, Brown calls himself a champion for life, doing it all while wearing his crown.
This scar is my crown, so I wear it with pride, and it just always reminds me of where I came from and what I've been through.
To some, a scar. To Roland Brown, a crown. In September 2021, Brown was shot on the right side of his head while sitting in his car. He was on life support for 3 weeks and had to learn to walk and talk again. But now he's a musician, a grandfather, an aspiring motivational speaker.
Just through perseverance and really trying and not giving up, I was able to accomplish those things back.
But Brown's recovery wasn't just physical. He says he began to suffer from anxiety after the shooting. He came here to the Family Counseling Center of Central Georgia, where he says he was able to learn a new outlook on life.
One of the main things I had to learn to let go was I wanted retribution. And Miss Christie and her staff taught me, just let God have his way and just let it go.
Executive Director Christy Henry says counseling crime victims helps break cycles of violence and builds healthy coping skills. And now new funding from Bibb County will help her team reach even more people.
Although we're making significant strides in Macon-Bibb when it comes to those challenges and obstacles that we face, there's still a lot of work to be done.
With $50,000 in funding, Henry says therapists can provide 300 to 400 more sessions in 2026. As for Roland, speaking out against violence and encouraging others to seek help is now his crowning glory.
You're either gonna go to prison for decades or you're gonna be in the ground forever. So pick your poison. So I'm very grateful. I'm here to do my part, to try to prevent as much as I can, and that's what I'm all about.
Henry says the money will help the counseling center reach over 100 more clients in 2026. Reporting in Macon, Olivia Dunn, 13 WMAZ News.
Macon-Bibb leaders approved that funding back in November. The money is coming from interest earned on American Rescue Plan Act funds. Additional health care, housing, and financial growth could be on the way to East Macon. A developer for the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs is looking at available space on Emory Highway. The site once housed businesses like the Macon-Bibb Health Department. Mayor Miller says a VA medical center would be a huge get for Macon-Bibb.
It allows people to have a closer, more strategic place they can go get treatment at. It also has people that want to live close to where they go to the doctor at. So that would be new people coming to Macon to live, and also valuable services. We expect anywhere from 250, 300 jobs there, close to $300 million investment there, and these are tax-paying projects as well.
And you can learn more about investment plans for East Macon and across Macon-Bibb. Watch Ask Mayor Miller right here on 13 WMAZ+. A Macon mom home for the holidays after 8 months in immigration detention. We first brought you this story back in June. That was 3 months after ICE detained Alma Bowman during a routine yearly check-in in Atlanta. While she's back with her family, she's still fighting for the government to recognize her as a U.S. citizen. Maggie Fitzgerald spoke with Bowman. She says she's not fighting just for her own freedom, but for others still behind bars.
When she came up to me that on the 25th, and she told me, "Are you ready to go home?" And I just looked at her because I wasn't, I didn't know how to react, so I just said, "Can I hug you?"
After 8 months in immigration detention, her second time in ICE custody, 59-year-old Alma Bowman is home. The daughter of a U.S. Navy veteran, Bowman was born in the Philippines, but she's lived in Macon for nearly 5 decades as a green card holder. Her troubles started with a routine check-in at ICE's Atlanta field office back in March.
They wheeled me downstairs, didn't even stop, straight outside to the SUV, and then drove me straight to Stewart. Took, half an hour before they let the family know that, hey, I was gone.
Bowman was sent to the Stewart Detention Center in Lumpkin, Georgia, where she spent the next 8 months. But on November 25th, 2 days before Thanksgiving, she finally returned home. Her release came after months of legal pressure and advocacy, and after ICE determined it could not deport her anywhere.
So there is a fear surrounding the possibility of this happening again.
Yes. It's all depending right now on the USCIS and what they say with my certificate of citizenship.
ICE has granted a temporary stay of removal through August. Bowman is home, but on an ankle monitor, with regular reporting requirements as her citizenship case continues. Bowman says she'll keep fighting.
I think about the people that I've left behind and their family, you know? So, yeah, I think about that, and I want them home, just like I'm lucky to be home with mine.
In Macon, Maggie Fitzgerald, 13, WMAZ News.
Alma Bowman told Maggie she's had a green card her entire life. She is, as you heard, still waiting on a decision from U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services for a certificate of citizenship. Her legal team did file a habeas corpus petition to challenge her detention and helped push for her release. Macon-Bibb County's ambitious plan to pave 20 years worth of roads in a single year, called Paving the Way, is pausing for the winter months. That's because asphalt pavement plants are closed. So far, the county says they've repaved 44 miles of the worst rated roads in the county. Naomi Washington takes us around Macon-Bibb to show the progress so far.
Long stretches like Fulton Mill Road in Macon ride a little smoother now, but Macon-Bibb Mayor Lester Miller knows there's still work to be done.
When we listen to our constituents, a lot of times what we hear about is potholes, about roads that need to be paved.
That's the driving force behind the county's Paving the Way program.
Bad on the cars, tires, everything like that.
Harlan Gates has lived in Macon for 13 years and says he's ready to see more paving in the South Bibb area.
The money needs to be spent on taking care of the roads, because we have to go to work to make money.
The county allocated $50 million for this current round of paving. Over 1,100 miles of county roads got scanned and graded. The mayor says they started with those worst rated roads first because those are the ones that are most likely the most traveled. Behind me is Thomas Street, where now there's new asphalt and new striping.
I promised 20 years of roads getting paved in 1 year, and we're well on the way to meet that and possibly even exceed that. But we're really satisfied with the number of people who come out to respond to our bids. We've been spending a lot of money, and a lot of money is showing a lot of progress.
Miller says if a spot you care about hasn't been paved yet or isn't on the list on the county's website, reach out to a commissioner or to him directly.
We do expect to spend close to $50 million on the total roads package. We're well on the way to do that. Like I said, 170 miles identified and will be paved within 1 year of the time that we started.
The county says money for Paving the Way comes from voter-approved SPLOST, local maintenance improvement grants, and general fund dollars, ensuring that road improvements reach neighborhoods across the entire county. Reporting in Macon, Naomi Washington, 13 WMAZ News.
County leaders say before launching this program, only 7 miles of roads were paved each year. Again, the program will start back up when asphalt plants reopen in the new year. In the meantime, Mayor Miller says they'll focus on painting and striping roads that need it. A Central Georgia nonprofit says more families struggled during the holiday season. The Salvation Army says they see a jump in calls for shelter, rental help, food, even coats for children, with staff members saying cold weather pushes many to a breaking point. Jasmine Lee spoke with volunteers about the surge in calls they get this time of year and what they're doing to try and help.
Say hi. Who? Say hi.
A Mother's Day starts with little voices and big needs. Ashlyn Dolan lost her home in September, and now she's starting over in a place she never expected.
I lost my house September due to lack of employment.
And her story is just one of many. Salvation Army Director Dr. Latresa White says they're seeing more families seeking a safe place to stay and more people asking for help with rent and basic needs.
I say about a 5 to 10% increase. That includes for rental assistance, for supportive services, mental health services.
She says calls started increasing in the fall, with many coming from parents trying to keep their kids safe.
I do believe that some of the stress, of course, were added to families and those individuals in need, of course, due to the situation with the SNAP benefits, government shutdown.
For Alan, the hardest part isn't just finding a place to live, it's dealing with mental health struggles while she searches.
I'm always stressed. My anxiety is through the roof. I'm scared of strangers. people get too close to me, I say, you're too close to me. I need you to back up a little bit.
White says housing problems and mental health are now tied together more than ever. A roof can sometimes be the first step to recovery.
We are offering services for sheltering, of course. We're offering financial assistance services.
One mom, one shelter, and a growing need in a community where more families are asking for help just to get back on their feet.
Transition from this place to my own apartment or house.
Reporting in Macon, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
The Salvation Army offers a hot meal and coats to people in need. You can stop by the Salvation Army Center. It's located at 1925 Broadway in Macon. If you or someone you know has a tree that needs to come down, but the cost is a concern, here's a story for you. Keen Tree Service in Macon wants to do a free tree service for people who need it most. They do this every month. They call it Cut for a Cause. Recently, a 7-man crew used a crane to remove a tree that hung over power lines in a family's driveway, a dangerous situation that could have turned into a huge problem. Company owner Aaron Keene says he started the program so families going through a tough time didn't have to stress about the cost of tree trouble that just can't wait.
It's a great feeling to be in a position to be able to give back, you know, especially after we've been so blessed by the community on their support and, you know, on them supporting our business and our dream.
You can nominate someone or even yourself for a future free service. You can fill out a form, Google form, on the Keen Tree Service Facebook page. If you're not on social media, you can call the company at 478-501-1746.
It was great joy to do this for the community, to reach out to each and every one of the people that in the community, to bring them joy and give them a little hope for Christmas too.
Anderson's Country Kitchen made sure no one went hungry on Christmas Day this year. They handed out free holiday lunches. Owners say it was the first year they've done this. They were able to serve over 300 people. They not only provided food, but also clothes and toys, making sure everyone had a very Merry Christmas.
Anderson is doing a wonderful job today by giving back. They got, like you said, they got the coats and they got the toys. They're giving back free meals. I got my free meal.
Owners told us they hope to make this an annual holiday tradition. Anderson's is open every day from 11 to 8 on Eisenhower Parkway. Downtown Macon still drawing families to the Christmas lights extravaganza. Even as the holiday season rolls along, you only have a few more days. Organizers say the lights won't be turning off until end of the day on Sunday. That's January 4th. A lengthy takedown process then takes place after the lights go dark. Jasmine Lee shows us what's to come for the extravaganza downtown.
Christmas Day may mark the holiday, but in Macon, it's not the end of the season. Downtown remains busy with families still making memories and organizers already looking ahead to what comes next.
We come every year. We love Macon.
For families like the Bloodworths, Christmas in downtown Macon is about more than just lights. It's about tradition, memories, and making the season special.
Merry Christmas!
And for her son, it's a chance to skate through the magic, enjoying every moment.
The lights, and more lights. The music, the atmosphere. It's just a wonderful place.
Over there.
And, he loves to play the games that they supply, the activities they supply.
Visit Macon's Marissa Rogers says Christmas night is busy, but the season doesn't slow down after the holiday. This year's season is shaping up strong. She says crowds have been steady and new areas have been successful in drawing visitors.
It was still a higher crowd than last year. Every night has been great. Our new market was successful.
And when the season ends, the work begins. Brian Nichols and his team put up thousands of lights by hand each year, and taking them down is a labor of love, something the community helps with every step of the way.
They literally do every light bulb themselves, so it's a long process to get it down as well, but it's a labor of love, and I know that he really appreciates everybody's enjoyment of it.
Now, for those who haven't made it downtown yet, there's still time. The lights and holiday magic will continue through the first weekend in January, giving families one more chance to make Christmas memories.
They've done so much with Macon, and this seems to be getting bigger and bigger every year.
Reporting in Macon, Jasmine Lee, 13 WMAZ News.
The lights and festivities continue nightly from 6 until 11, and again it wraps up on Sunday, January 4th. Every 2 seconds, somebody needs blood, and the holiday season is usually a very slow time for donations. But one family makes sure they take time to give blood in honor of their father. Ellie Milliken shares their story.
I got a lot of pictures of John.
John is Betty Welling's husband and the father of 4 girls. 2 of the girls sitting with their mama. Holidays aren't easy, but the memories and the love make it worth it.
He came to Colorado to see me. That's where I lived. We dated one day. He asked me to marry him the next day.
John began his Navy career at the end of Vietnam and met Betty in California. They later were married in Colorado. There were moves and starting a family.
We started giving when he was in the military. They always asked for blood.
But things changed in 2016. John had a heart attack and needed blood. He recovered and they enjoyed 4 more years with him until a fatal cancer diagnosis. Now his family is giving to honor him.
I think he'd be proud of us, especially, you know, us coming together and doing it as a family, because we were a very close-knit family. I mean, we're together every single day almost.
Now Betty says she thinks of how John's blood transfusions gave him 4 more years with their family.
I think it's very crucial. You never know. Like my dad, like I said, 6 months prior had a good workup cardio. No idea that he was going to have that heart attack and need that blood. So you never know when you or your loved one is going to need that donation.
And they make sure when someone else needs a donation, they've done their part. In Macon, Ellie Milliken, 13 WMAZ News.
Remember, fireworks are not toys. All fireworks are extremely dangerous, and incidents or accidents can be severe.
Macon-Bibb Fire Department sending out an important message ahead of the New Year's Eve celebrations. They want everyone to be safe. That's why they hosted a demonstration looking at how improper fireworks usage and unsafe grilling practices can lead to fires and serious burns. Fire crews say many of these injuries are preventable with proper supervision and safe handling.
When we're dealing with fireworks, you want to ensure you're 18 years of age or older. You want to ensure before you light them off that you have the proper eye, hand, and feet protection. You want to ensure that you're a safe distance from your home or from any type of structure. You want to make sure you're not in a wooded area that with dry vegetation that can cause or increase the chance of fires as well.
And that is the final note in this week's edition of the Macon-Bibb Beat. If you have a Macon-Bibb County story you want us to share, you can always email us at news@13wmaz.com. And make sure you come back every Wednesday to get all the news and stories that matter to you. Thanks for watching the Macon-Bibb Beat.